Ladies and gentlemen, our program will begin in 10 minutes. Please take your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, our program will begin in 5 minutes. Please take your seats. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, our program will begin in 2 minutes. Please take your seats and silence all cell phones. Thank you.
to serve God and my country,
to help people at all times, and to live by the Girl Scout law.
I will do my best to be honest and fair, friendly and helpful,
Considerate and caring,
courageous and strong,
and responsible for what I say and do, and to respect myself and others, respect authority,
use resources wisely, make the world a better place, and be a sister to every Girl Scout.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Girl Scouts of San Jacinto Council's 2021 Success to Significance Luncheon. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by our invocation, led by Girl Scout Senior Annika Medico.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Sharing in this meal, let us be truly thankful for the good things we have, for the warm hospitality, and for this good company. Thank you. Please be seated.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our Council President and Board Chair, Marguerite Wong Chapman.
Thank you, Annika. You did a wonderful job. Let's give her another round of applause, everybody. And while we're at it, I want to give this entire group a round of applause. This is an amazing turnout. I'm just so thrilled. So, hello, Girl Scouts, supporters, and friends. To say that I'm happy to be with you today is quite the understatement. We are thrilled to see you and welcome you to the 2021 Success to Significance Luncheon. Whether you're in the room or watching virtually, we welcome you here today. Your support for this luncheon is so important to girls and young women who are developing their leadership skills through Girl Scouting. Thank you for your generosity and for making today possible. As you heard, I'm Marguerite Wong Chapman, and I'm proud to serve as the president and board chair of this amazing organization, which has been building girls of courage, confidence, and character who make the world a better place and fueling the female leadership pipeline in our very own community since 1922. And yes, if you have your math hats on, that means that this 2021 to 2022 membership year is our 100th year anniversary. So we have a great program in store for you today, and I want to preview one very special part. Just after lunch is served, the lights will dim, and you'll be treated to a video featuring 3 young women from our program, Isha, Kennedy, and Sesabella. I'm so pleased to share that on October 8th this year, Isha was recognized as a National Gold Award Girl Scout by Girl Scouts of the USA, based on the merit of her Gold Award project, which she'll tell you a little bit about in her video. As a National Gold Award Girl Scout, Isha will serve as an ambassador for other young women who are on their own leadership journey and reaching for gold. Congratulations, Isha. It is now my honor to introduce our 2021 Success to Significance co-chairs, Ellen Chin and Mary Zappone. I have to admit, when we first started planning this event, we didn't know exactly what it would look like, but Ellen and Mary, with the invaluable assist of that rock star, Mary Bass, had the vision and determination to make it happen. So on behalf of the board of directors and the girls we are proud to serve, we thank you. So please help me welcome Ellen and Mary to the stage.
Well, thank you, Marguerite. We have been looking forward to today for a very long time, and we are incredibly thankful for all the support we have received from such a worthy cause. When I was asked to chair this event in the middle of the pandemic, I was a little bit worried. I was hoping we could still do this virtual, but I was really excited by the challenge. So I thought I would go and pull out my gritty personality, my hopefully creativity. I'm not as creative, but I knew a lot of people who were, and also the many friends and supporters, all of you. I knew I could rely on all of you guys to help us. I'm so proud that we accomplished this for our girls, but mostly I'm excited to be here with you in person, and we also do have a lot of folks joining us virtually.
Well said, Alan. We could not have done it without the support of the individuals, the corporations, and each of you. So thank you so much for being here. Your unwavering support of Girl Scouts and the leadership, I think the mic just went off. Those who know me know it's not too bad of a thing, but the mic is off. We'd like to now take a moment to recognize our sponsors.
Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for joining us today. Each and every one of you is essential to our mission of building girls of courage, confidence, and character who make the world a better place. We also appreciate the many individuals and organizations who make the important work of Girl Scouts of San Jacinto Council possible. Legacy sponsor, HEB. Girl Scout leadership sponsor, NOV Inc. Troop leader sponsor, Texas Children's Hospital. Gold Award Spotlight sponsor, Insperity. Parking sponsor, John P. McGovern Foundation. Printing sponsor, Comerica Bank. Livestream sponsor, ConocoPhillips. Pillar sponsor, Entrepreneur, Holland and Knight. Pillar sponsor, Outdoor, Bayardo, Charlton, and Diaz families. Pillar sponsor, Life Skills, Zurich Family Foundation. Pillar sponsor, STEM, Sempra LNG. Confidence sponsors, character sponsors, Friends of Girl Scouting. Please join Girl Scouts of San Jacinto Council in a round of applause for all the people and companies who make our work possible. Together, we are fueling the female leadership pipeline and supporting the next generation of leaders who will make our world a better place.
You know, I just want to personally thank so many of the sponsors and individuals and families who really stepped up this year. You know, coming out of the last couple of years of the pandemic, you know, we didn't know what our budgets looked like. Things were so uncertain. So really just thank you so much for taking a step forward and, you know, helping us meet our goals this year. I also really want to take a minute here to thank the many host committee members and board of directors who made phone calls and were persistent and helped us chase so many people. So if you are a host committee member or board member, will you please stand? Thank you. Thank you for all you do to make this Girl Scout mission a reality for so many girls and young women. As many of you know, all the proceeds from this event stays within our local San Jacinto Council so that we can bring the Girl Scout mission to life for so many girls, regardless of their family's ability to pay. So we want to continue to encourage you to view the unique experiences because it doesn't stop. You can still help the Girl Scouts today. You got a flyer as you walked in. There's a QR code on that one-page flyer. So if you look at the QR code, there's different ways that you can actually bid on our raffles, as well as there's a small QR code that's probably sitting next to your flower vase at your tables. And that's another great way for you to help us with donations is you can bid on the beautiful flowers at your table. We will take a break for lunch, and then we will come back in just a few minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, our program will resume in 5 minutes. Please take your seats and silence all cell phones. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, our program will begin in 2 minutes. Please take your seats and silence all cell phones. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Isha and I'm a Gold Award Girl Scout. I'm also on the Highest Award Specialist team, and I'm going on my 12th year in Girl Scouts.
Highest Award Specialist, hey, what's that?
The Highest Award Specialist team is a team of Gold Award Girl Scouts who just want to help encourage and promote earning the highest awards for other Girl Scouts who are younger than us. My Gold Award is called Diverse Book Club, and we're promoting representation and diversity in the media and education system. Students often struggle to empathize, respect, and just understand students who are different from them, whether that be in culture, whether that be in race, whether that be in gender. It was important that we found ways to bridge those gaps so that students could understand each other.
If you could give a piece of advice to any Girl Scout who's maybe thinking about doing their highest awards or not quite sure whether they want to do it, what would be your advice to them?
Do it. Don't be scared to take a risk and go out there and put yourself out there. Don't be scared that the Gold Award is an individual project, because you will create a team of people who are there to support you. So you should take that opportunity to learn more because you have a group of people who are helping you. Always be ready to take a risk. Always be ready to put yourself out there, because you never know what you'll find out about yourself. You never know what you'll be able to find out about your community. So,
how have you seen yourself grow as a woman or as a Girl Scout after earning your highest awards?
I joined student government because Girl Scouts inspired me to. I became student body president because Girl Scouts inspired me to. Those are positions that I could never see myself in before. Girl Scouts has encouraged that type of behavior. It's encouraged being a leader, taking risks. I was never a risk taker. I was afraid of heights. It's just made me a different person on the whole, and I think it's so impactful overall.
Hi, I'm Katie Fisher. I've been to Girl Scouts for 13 years now. I've sold cookies like every year. That's crazy now to think about it. I sell with my troop, and honestly, I couldn't do it without them. Like, yes, we gonna kill this booth. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna laugh. Every time cookie season comes around, I'm like, all right, girls, let's get this money.
What are the most valuable skills that you probably learned selling cookies?
Talking to people. I mean, I've always been like a shy person to like new people. So like talking to just regular people every day, like it was kind of hard at first, but gotta sell these cookies. Like we gotta make connections. So they're like, you know what? I'll buy cookies from this little girl, even though she's shaking in her boots.
What does your troop do with cookie puffs?
We do a lot of traveling. We've gone to Atlanta and Savannah, and we're going to Costa Rica next year. Yeah, next year.
Why do you think it's important that Girl Scouts participate in the cookie program?
definitely sell cookies. It's just preparing you to be like a business person, getting the basic business knowledge in your mind, like implanted from a young age. So like for me, it helped me realize the value of money and the value of things you buy. Actually like doing it and selling the cookies and seeing them disappear off the table, like it's the best thing. So yeah, it's always good.
I'm Sesabella Astraquio. I have been in Girl Scouts for 12 years now. I am going to be a certified counselor next summer, so I'll see you guys at Girl Scout camp.
What's your favorite thing about Girl Scout camp?
Probably camping, to be completely honest. Like, camping has always been something since I was a little hazy. I've always been really interested in doing it because I love being outdoors. I didn't really start regularly going out camping until I became part of the backpacking special interest group.
What would be your piece of advice to a Girl Scout who's trying backpacking for the first time?
Don't knock it till you try it. We've had a lot of girls come through our orientation. They always come with their friends. You don't necessarily have to do it with your friends. Yes, it helps, but I promise you, you will make friends with the backpacking troop because there's so many girls there and they're all so sweet.
Do you have any Girl Scout camp memories?
Yes, actually, I have quite a few. So the first year I went to Girl Scout camp, I cried every single night. And I'm sure the counselor's like, what do we do? What do we do with her? What do we do with her, guys? And then I come home like, hey, Mom, I want to go back. And she's like, okay.
What does it mean to be a Girl Scout?
I think it means being able to learn how to be independent and how to just be a strong and empowered female in today's society.
What would you say to a girl who's looking at the Girl Scouts for the first time, is hesitant, doesn't know what to do, doesn't know if she wants to try it?
Girl Scouts could be that one thing that ends up changing your life for the better. I have done Girl Scouts the longest, and it has stuck with me. The things I have learned have stuck with me the most. The values I've learned in Girl Scouts.
Awesome. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Girl Scouts of San Jacinto Council Chief Executive Officer, Mary Vitek.
Hello, everybody. It is so good to be with you all today. I do want to share that one of the young women who was featured in the video, Kennedy, is here with us today. Kennedy, would you please stand so that we can recognize you? Thank you, Kennedy, for inspiring us with your story and reminding us all why we're here today. This is the first large in-person donor event that we have held since January 22nd, 2020, when we held our Just Desserts event. And it is so good to see so many of you here in 3D versus over Teams or Zoom or any of the other platforms we've all learned to use over the past 18 months. You know, we are emerging from this devastating pandemic just in time to celebrate a very special year. In 2022, Girl Scouts will celebrate 110 years in the United States of America, and our council, as Marguerite mentioned earlier, will celebrate 100 years in Southeast Texas. Ever since that first troop was formed in Savannah, Georgia in 1912, Girl Scouts has been providing every generation of girls with transformative experiences to help them build courage, confidence, and character. In turn, these girls and young women have been making our world a better place. So what does that mean? I think one way of answering that question is to address who really benefits from Girl Scouts. Our mission is clearly focused on the healthy development of girls, but the positive impact of Girl Scouting is felt well beyond the girls themselves. For starters, volunteers gain a sense of purpose that is so important to the human condition and learn some new skills along the way as they guide girls on their leadership journey from eager and bubbly kindergarten-aged Daisy Girl Scouts, learning the Girl Scout promise and the values of the Girl Scout law, all the way to high school-aged Girl Scout seniors and ambassadors who are pursuing the highest award in Girl Scouting, the Girl Scout Gold Award. Now, you met some of our Gold Award Girl Scouts on the screen. Gold Award Girl Scouts are our valedictorians. They're our real-life heroes. They are our rock stars. They use everything they've learned in Girl Scouting up to that point, including past community service and take action projects, to identify a problem in their community and implement a plan to fix it, not just for themselves, but for others, making a lasting change in their world, in our world. So if we think about who truly benefits from Girl Scouting, we all do. But it starts with providing transformative experiences for girls. And I want to share an example of how we're doing that today as our community emerges from a pandemic. After hosting many of our programs online during the height of the pandemic, we were so excited to reopen our camps for resident camping and family camping last summer. And it was clear that families were ready to break out of their homes as camps filled to near capacity. It was also clear that something had changed. Camp has always been a place where girls build their independence muscles and adapt to living away from their parents and trying new experiences. But this year was different. Experienced counselors reported a higher incidence of homesickness and anxiety. A year away from the routine of in-person school and peer activities had definitely taken its toll on our girls, and we saw that firsthand. In the end, I can assure you, girls gained valuable tools to overcome their homesickness and left camp with a renewed confidence, ready for the start of school this fall. But what about the girls that didn't get that experience? We exited summer with a renewed appreciation for the value of community for our youth, especially now. I am excited to share that more families are seeking Girl Scouts as we host sign-up events this fall. The number of new adults and girls joining Girl Scouting is up 300% and 125% respectively over last year. This is a positive sign for our community, our entire community. Through Girl Scouting, girls participate in a wide variety of skill-building activities like the amazing new adventure park at Camp Arnold, sailing at Casa Mare, competitive robotics teams, or badge earning activities like the new math and nature badges that were released earlier this year, just to name a few. We strive to meet girls where they are and give them the opportunity and experience to explore their interests and discover their talents. Through every activity, girls are learning teamwork, decision-making, and communication, skills they will take with them at school, at home, and throughout their lives, well beyond their years as girls or young women in Girl Scouting. At Girl Scouts, we know firsthand there is no limit to what girls can accomplish and are proud to play a role in helping girls gain the confidence needed to think big and tackle big issues today and in the future as the next generation of female leaders, much like the women you will meet in today's panel discussion. I'd now like to introduce our moderator for today's panel discussion. Please join me in welcoming Mary Bass, Girl Scouts of San Jacinto Council past board member, extraordinary Girl Scout supporter, and someone who exemplifies the value of Girl Scouting. You are in for a real treat, I can promise. Dare I say it, Mary Bass, take it away.
Greetings, and it is my sincere pleasure to introduce you to the three panelists, Vanessa Gilmore, and ladies, please come up. Vanessa Gilmore, Michelle Riley Brown, and Janet Gerwitz. And while they're coming this way, I'll tell you a little bit about them. This was Vanessa's birthday week. In 1994, when Judge Vanessa Diane Gilmore was sworn in, she was then the youngest sitting federal judge in the nation. The native of Silver Spring, Maryland, was also the youngest member of her freshman class at her alma mater, Hampton University in Virginia, entering its 16 years of age, just a couple years ago. She decided to undertake a career in law after she represented herself and won a minor civil lawsuit. She graduated from the University of Houston Law Center in 1981. Her civic activities outside of the courtroom brought her to the attention of Governor Ann Richards, who in 1991 appointed Vanessa to the Texas Department of Commerce Policy Board, where she also served as chairperson from 92 to 94. Her appointment to that board made her the first African American to serve on this board, responsible for increasing business, promoting tourism, and developing job training in Texas. In 93, she served as chairperson of Texans for NAFTA. In that capacity, she worked regularly with diplomatic leaders, including the President of Mexico, to increase U.S. trade opportunities. She was nominated to the federal bench by President Bill Clinton in 94 and became the first U of H graduate to be appointed to the federal bench. Please help me welcome Honorable Judge Vanessa Gilmore to the stage. Thank you. On Vanessa's right is Janet Gerwitz. Janet is an operating partner with Advent International, where she focuses on the beauty and wellness consumer sector. She's the founder and former CEO of Laura Mercier Cosmetics and Skincare, which is a global brand of high-end niche cosmetics. She managed and oversaw Laura Mercier's day-to-day business operations, strategy development, and retail negotiations. Her talent provided a solid foundation for a strong, growing business based on technique and a high-quality product. She sold Laura Mercier in 2008. Today, she's an investor in and on the board of directors of Dry Bar. We know Dry Bar. Olaplex and the Houston Astros baseball team. Janet formerly served on the boards of Tatcha First Aid Beauty, Dollar Shave Club, and Urban Decay Cosmetics. For the past decade, she was an operating partner with Castanea, a Boston-based private equity firm that focused on the beauty consumer space. Please, let's welcome Janet. And our third distinguished panelist is Michelle Riley Brown. Michelle is a New Orleans, Louisiana native. She earned her undergraduate degree from Tulane, as well as her master's degree in healthcare administration from Washington University School of Medicine in St. Louis. When she finished her graduate degree, she joined Texas Children's Hospital in 1999, so that's 22 years ago, as an administrative fellow, and has held numerous leadership roles within the organization ever since. She played a prominent role in the successful preparation, development, and execution of Texas Children's Hospital West Campus, the Texas Children's first community hospital that opened in 2010. She currently serves as EVP at Texas Children's Hospital, president of Texas Children's Hospital The Woodlands, and president of Texas Children's Hospital West Campus. Busy girl. And I actually met her because she was a client of mine, and I thought, oh my God, this woman is strong. So I'm so thrilled she's here. Through her leadership roles, she oversees and directs Texas Children's broad community strategy, as well as the marketing, PR, and philanthropy departments. Please welcome Michelle to today's meeting. So what we're going to do is I'm going to ask specific questions to the panel, and I'm going to start with Judge Gilmore. So Vanessa, for those of you who don't know, she's written books. She's very entrepreneurial. But being a woman and one of the youngest federal judges to ever be selected, what challenges did you face in a heavily male-dominated sector?
Good afternoon, everybody. I think, Mary, that the biggest challenge at first was the fact that I became a judge at such a young age. People didn't take me seriously because of my age, and people didn't take me seriously because I was a woman. And I think that I was determined to prove them wrong. And so I went into my job as a lawyer, went into my job as a judge with the understanding that I had the confidence to be there, that I was supposed to be at the table, and that I wasn't going to let anybody intimidate me or make me feel that I should not be there. There's a phrase that is sometimes used, and it's called the soft bigotry of low expectations. And people didn't expect a lot from me. And when they don't, then you can always surprise them by doing more than they expect that you're going to be able to do.
You go, girl. Janet, what inspired you to start Laura Mercier?
Well, my background was I worked for Foley's department store for many years, and then I was fortunate enough to become the executive vice president of Neiman Marcus. And I lived in Dallas, and I loved fashion and accessories and shoes. I didn't love cosmetics until I met Bobby Brown, who was a young makeup artist who had started her own brand. And it hit me, I think, just paying attention what's happening around you. And I thought, here was someone that was doing her own thing in a sea of L'Oreal, Estee Lauder, Shiseido, yet she was doing her own thing. And I think I was a quick second. One time I heard on a podcast, she said I copied her, and I called her and I said I did. I did. But you know, I used to think to be an entrepreneur, you had to create Uber or you had to create Apple. And then I didn't think you could just create a better shoe and call it Manolo Blahnik, or create a better coffee service and call it Starbucks. And so I decided to create my own brand. I moved back to Houston and we built Laura Mercier Cosmetics.
Thank you, Janet. Michelle, you started at TCH as an administrative fellow after getting your master's in health administration. What has inspired you to develop your career at TCH, and what changes have you observed during your tenure there?
Thank you, Mary. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here today. So what inspired me to go into healthcare, Mary, was my father was a physician, a general surgeon in New Orleans. So healthcare was in my blood. But when I graduated from Tulane University, I didn't quite know what I wanted to do as a career. So I just took a job out of college as an insurance adjuster, bodily injury liability adjuster. Did that for 7 years and then decided this is not what I want to do for the rest of my life, fight with attorneys all day handling lawsuits. So I had to reflect, what's in my blood? What am I passionate about? And I grew up around healthcare, and I watched my father be a servant leader through his profession. And so, but I didn't want to go to medical school. That's too much school. It's too much training. So my oldest brother, the wise person that he is, he was in medical school at the time. He's actually president of a medical school now in New York. He told me, why don't you go into health administration? So I applied, and I tell this story because I hope it inspires others never to give up. I applied, I was rejected to the first school, which happened to be Tulane School of Public Health and Tropical Medicine. Surely, as a Tulane alum, they were going to take me. No, rejected. So I applied to another school, rejected. So my brother looked at me and he said, why don't you apply to Washington University School of Medicine? Their MHA program is the best in the country, and it was. And I looked at him and I was like, you're crazy? I just got rejected from 2 schools. He said, just do it. I applied. They flew me up. They offered me on the spot. I went to Wash U, had a great experience. And then I met Mark Wallace, president and CEO of Texas Children's. And he recruited me from WashU to Texas Children's. So I like to tell that story because that rejection turned into a blessing. Because had I gone to Tulane, I would have never met Mark Wallace, who's an alum of WashU MHA program. And so that rejection and going to WashU changed the true trajectory of my career. And now 22 years later, I report directly to Mark Wallace as the executive vice president. And it is just an amazing career. But remember, rejection can turn into a blessing.
Excellent. Excellent. So this panel were billed as change makers. So now I'm going to ask each of you what that phrase means to you when it comes to your career, your journey. Vanessa?
I think that being a change maker means being willing to risk being the first person. Sometimes you walk into a room and you are the first, or you are the youngest, or you are the only. And there is a tendency to feel that you can't be in that space, that you should not be in that space. I think being a change maker means being willing to walk into a space where you maybe do not have the comfort level, and knowing your preparation and your training and your experience and your education are going to make it possible for you to be in that room and help assist with making change. I think that one of the things that we all need to do is to understand that when we get that if you're not at the table, you're on the menu. And I've had so many examples of that in my own experiences. When I was chair of the Texas Department of Commerce, we were starting a brand new ad campaign to advertise the state of Texas. And our ad campaign was Texas. It's like a whole other country. You guys have seen that probably. Mm-hmm. And we got all of our ads in, and it was a real flashy and really neat campaign. And we watched all the commercials, and everybody's clapping and saying, "Oh, this is fantastic." And I raised my hand. I said, "We don't have one single person of color in any of our ads. Are we not trying to attract all the business that we need to the state of Texas, all the people that have money to spend in tourism here?" And my board members, my other fellow board members said, "We hadn't even noticed that." It wasn't that they were deliberately being discriminatory. It's just that they needed somebody at the table to help them change their view of what they were seeing. And so that was an important thing for me to be able to do. And I think that we all have opportunities like that, where we bring a different perspective and we're able to help people see things that maybe they would not have seen without our eyes being there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What about Michelle? What does the phrase change maker mean to you when it comes to your career, your journey?
For me in my journey, being a change maker has pushed me to get out of my comfort zone. I think Vanessa spoke about that. And when I mentor young professionals, I tell them I had to get out of my comfort zone, and I have to every day. And I learn every day. The day I stop learning is the day I'm done. So a lot of times when Mark Wallace asked me to do something, or the board, they approached me to build the first community hospital outside of the medical center for Texas Children's. I didn't know how to build a hospital, but I was going to learn, get out of my comfort zone. And that's what I encourage people to do if they want to grow. That's how I grow, is to get out of my comfort zone. And so one thing that I've learned and that I try to instill in my daughter is when you get out of your comfort zone, you will grow. And no one expects you to have all the answers. None of us do. But what they do expect me to do is to work hard, to have grit, and to have a good work ethic and values. And with that, you're going to make progress. So I would say get out of your comfort zone, stretch, and force yourself to grow.
Thank you. Janet, so what does the phrase change makers mean to you when it comes to your career or your journey?
Well, first, I think there will always be people who doubt you. Like, you can imagine me just saying, "I'm going to start a cosmetics company in Texas." It didn't resonate. And one of my close friends called me and said, "Janet, do you think there's a shortage of mascara?" And so I said, no. And that was in 1995. So, but I believed that I had a different slant. I believed I had a different way to do it, and was so proud, even though my parents were saying you could maybe be the first woman president of CEO of Neiman Marcus. I decided to take a risk at the age of 42 to start a cosmetics company. I had no idea seriously how to start a cosmetics company, but I knew people that could help me. And I always laugh because at Neiman's, I flew first class, I had makeup artists, I had a lot of things. And I say I gave up my first class lifestyle for a middle seat and coach. But it worked and it's exciting. So I agree. Change to me, I have changed not with a plan. I was in retail forever. Retail changed. I did Laura Mercier. And as you know, after we sold it, I then went into private equity in the beauty space. And I would never think that would have happened. And they say in the Hamilton song, I like to be in the room where it happened. And that's why I still work.
Great. Judge Gilmore, what is some of the advice that you share with young women entering a male-dominated profession?
Well, first of all, become a Girl Scout. Look, Mary, I've been a Girl Scout so long. I was listening to the young ladies give the pledge today. Here's the pledge that we had. On my honor, I will try to do my duty to God and my country to help other people every day, especially those at home. Now, how long ago was that the pledge? Like 900 years ago, was that the pledge? But I would say this, I lucked out. I hit the jackpot with parents and that they helped me get excited about Girl Scouting. And the leadership skills that I learned there carried me a long way in terms of preparing me to be able to work in a profession that has traditionally been a very male-dominated profession. But one secret, I don't know, Mary's gonna know this about me already, but I will tell. Every time I meet a group of young women lawyers, which is very often, and they say, how do we break in? We can't get the guys to, socialize with us or go places with us, or they go hunting and they don't ask us. I tell every young woman that I meet, you gotta learn how to play golf. Am I right, Mary?
Yep, that's right.
You gotta learn how to play golf. For me, golf has been like the great equalizer. You can ask somebody to play golf, it's a non-date date. Everything else is a date. You ask somebody, hey, I got a couple tickets to the ball game. Let's go to the game and have some beers. They're like, maybe, maybe not. Or, can we go to the opera together? That's a date. Golf is not a date.
Right.
And you get 4 hours of somebody's time.
That's right.
And you learn a lot about people from watching them play golf. Do they cheat? Do they throw their clubs and get mad when they make a mistake? Are they rude? Do they abide by the rules? Because there are a lot of rules in golf.
That's right.
And I think you can learn a lot. But it's really a way. I think that for women, sometimes we have to figure out a way to get some entree there. And we have to work a little bit harder at it sometimes than the guys do. The guys can say, hey, let's go have a drink after work. In this day and age and era, men are kind of stiff-arming you and keeping you at arm's distance. And so I say, learn how to play golf. That's my tip.
Okay. Michelle, what advice would you give to the next generation of female leaders?
Don't quit. I think Vanessa said it earlier. You deserve just as much as anyone else to have a seat at the table, but you have to have that self-confidence to take that seat at the table. And then once you have the seat at the table, have a voice. Because it's one thing to have a seat at the table and not have a voice, or to have a voice. Speak up. Don't be afraid to speak up. Because many times your ideas, your approaches, your innovation will be well respected, but you have to have a voice and you have to speak up. Seize the moment and take the opportunity.
Janet, what quality do you think makes a great leader?
I think to be a great leader, you have to have drive. And I don't know if you just have it innately, but you've got to have drive because it's complicated and it's competitive. You've got to have focus. I think if you're going to be a leader, you can't do everything. So you have to decide if you're running the state of Texas or if you're running a cosmetics company, you want to focus on certain things. And I think you can't do everything. So I used to say, as I was building Laura Mercier to my team, we are building a building, but we can't do it if we don't have a great base. And so we had to do first things first, and then second and third. And then you need a strategy. You've got to know what you need to do, and then B, how do you do it? And building a great team around you where you're not your strength, particularly e-commerce maybe wasn't mine, and I would hire top people that could do that. So building a great team.
Vanessa, what has prepared you the most for the leadership roles you've had?
Literally, I'm not, and this is not, I'm not being facetious now, really the base that you get from being a Girl Scout. You heard one of the part of our pledge was helping other people every day, you know, especially those at home. Being willing to go out into the community and be of service to others is, to me, the absolute best way that you can also help yourself. When you are willing and able to be in the community and being of service and doing what you can to make your community a better place to live and to work, people notice you. I didn't get to become a federal judge because I was the smartest lawyer in Houston. I got to become a federal judge because I was a good lawyer, but people also saw that I had the heart of a servant, because being a judge is a public service job. And some people, all they want to do is they want to be the best lawyer ever. And that's great, but this is a public service opportunity. And when people see that you are willing to have a servant's heart and willing to be of service to your community, then I think that that is something that will hold you in good stead in terms of people seeing you as someone that is deserving of other opportunities to be of service. So that has been the best thing for me.
Michelle, how do you balance your career, personal life, and passions? Is there such a thing as balance?
You know, that's an interesting question, and I have a table of TCH colleagues here today, so I'm not going to lie and say that I have balance, because they'll probably call me on it. I'll tell you, Mary, it's something that I have to consciously think about every day, every week, and I work at it every day. And people say, well, how do you do all your, different jobs at Texas Children's? And my answer is I take it one day at a time, because if I try to think about it too much in totality, everything that I have to do all year, the upcoming year, it gets overwhelming, to be honest. So I take it one day at a time. And what I've learned about balance is if I don't take me time and time for self-care, I can't be good for anyone else, whether that's my coworkers, my employees, my daughter, my husband. I have to take care of me first, and then I will be a better person to be able to serve at work and to serve at home. So it's a challenge. I'm still a student of trying to figure out the balance equation, but I am learning more to be present. That's a really big thing for me. Focus is to be present. When I'm at work, I'm present. But when I'm at home and I'm with my daughter and my family, I'm present. So it's a challenge every day, but it's a challenge that I conquer every day.
Thank you. Well, I just did a quick time check, and we're there. So let's thank our panelists. And let me say something. When we were practicing this, I just sort of blurted this out, and they wanted me to mention it to this room, which was, we're all coming out of a pandemic, which gave us time to be introspective. And for me personally, what I realized was that we're mortal, we're fragile, we're truly global, and it's what we do with the rest of our life that'll determine the quality of the rest of our life. So take charge. And the last thing I would say is that if you carry one thing with you today, let it be this. You are brave, you are beautiful, you are strong, you are smart, you can do it. Go, girls. Thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you so much for those encouraging words. Your courage, your grit, your strength is so very inspiring. I know to me and to all of those here. The shadow that you guys cast is far and wide. So thank you so much. I'd also like to thank you, Mary, for staying on stage. We have a special award for you.
And many of you know Mary B, and I'm Mary Z, and then we have Mary V. So we have a lot of Marys. So if you want to be on the board or be involved with Girl Scouts and your name's Mary, you can join. So Mary and I have become dear friends through actually the Women's Corp Director Group. And when we were there, I think 2 years ago, people thought we'd known each other for over a decade, but we just were meant to get to know each other. And she is really a woman of courage, of confidence and character. So it's very well suited that she is moderating our meeting here today. You make the world a better place. Mary, for all you've done over the past 2 decades to support girls and women, and for the next however many decades, through girls and young women and women of my age, there's a group, Troop 365, which I just learned a little bit about. So I'm going off script, be careful. Mary saw the Boy Scout building and she thought it looked really nice. And then she was at a Girl Scout meeting and they were talking about a building that was like $12 million. And I guess the Boy Scout one was like $100 million or something like that. So they needed $3.65 million to match up to the 12 million. So none of you will be surprised to know that Mary got a group of women, Troop 365, to raise that 3.65 million. They checked all of the people, the companies and people that had contributed to the Scouts, and they called them up and said, oh, it's so great that you have contributed to Scouts and you support Scouts. We're giving you the opportunity to support the Girl Scouts. You'll love this one. Would you like me to pick up that check tomorrow or Monday? And $3.65 million later, here she stands among us. So she's been on the board of directors. She serves women from young girls up to the highest executives. Mary is a big backer of getting women on boards and in executive positions. And then the Girl Scouts of San Jacinto Council would like to present you with the 2021 Success to Significance Award. And this is through.
Oh, thank you. Oh, that was so cool. Wow. Oh, my God. You listen to me.
And there's you should show your award, I guess. Oh, wait, we're supposed to be photo op just a second.
Here's my award.
It should be bigger.
Thank you. That was so cool. You were so darling. Thank you.
We all know that when girls and women succeed, entire communities thrive. And that's why having an organization like the Girl Scouts is so important. The mission of Girl Scouts is to build girls of courage, confidence, and character who make the world a better place. I've also found that Girl Scouts doesn't just benefit our girls, but I've personally grown as a leader through the mentors I have found in Girl Scouts. Ladies like Mary Zapone, like Mary Bass, who I've known for over a decade. And I look back, how I got introduced to scouting is my parents immigrated, and they're here, Joe and Janchin. They immigrated to the United States when I was 5 years old. And one thing that they did to introduce me, to help me be successful here in the US, is they introduced me to Girl Scouting. And you know, as I look back and as what we can do to those immigrant children who are coming here, this is not just for the Americans, right? It's for people like me who came and learned how to thrive in this country. By show of hands, how many of you were a Girl Scout, have a Girl Scout, know a Girl Scout? Better start seeing hands going up. Been involved in Girl Scouts, a troop leader, attended one of our networking events, or sponsored a Girl Scout. If you're here, you sponsored Girl Scouts. You have been firsthand, have seen the benefits of Girl Scouting, which provides girls with such a unique experience to grow and take on leadership roles.
Thank you, Ellen. I was a Girl Scout. My 3 daughters were all Girl Scouts, 2 of them reaching gold awards. And when I heard some of the stories about independence, I'm going to share a story about my oldest daughter who actually turned 29 today. So whatever the youngest age you can go to camp, is it 6, 7? She wanted to go to Girl Scout camp, Camp Agnes Arnold. And I wasn't so sure about that. So I decided to take a week of vacation and volunteer as a camp counselor. And so, you know, they'll let you do that. And so I did. And as I passed her in, you know, the trails, she looked straight ahead. I walked by with a huge smile on my face and acted like she had no idea who I was. So today she's off doing her own career. So it's, I guess you do learn that independence through Girl Scouts, or it brings it out. Interestingly, my mother was actually a grandma troop leader of my girls with another grandmother as well. So I think it just shows that you can really be active in all different ways. I helped with STEM badges, with business etiquette badges for multiple troops along the way, and then most recently, of course, on the board. I know you've all heard that talent is equally distributed, but opportunities to develop it are not. That's why we take such great pride in the San Jacinto Council in working to ensure that all girls have the opportunity to get involved. Our council serves nearly 50,000 girls. It's just really amazing to even think about that number of girls. And 2/3 of them experience scouting in a troop setting, which is probably what many of us all did, where a volunteer guides them through their journey. But the remaining Girl Scouts are actually served through outreach programs, where paid staff can deliver the programs to those girls. We go to underserved communities, shelters, detention centers. In fact, the group that I had some girls that were children from prisons. So I've been involved with those girls as well. So just to let you know, the support you've already given and that you will continue to give, including today, would be greatly appreciated and well used.
Research suggests that enduring relationships with caring adults helps validate a girl's sense of self and can provide a buffer against negative influences and high-risk behaviors that our girls have to navigate on a daily basis. This is especially beneficial for Girl Scouts of lower socioeconomic status who, compared to non-Girl Scout peers, are more likely to report that they have a caring adult in their lives. We believe every girl deserves to have a caring adult in their life. If you're inspired to do more, please text S2S21 to the number on the screen. Please take a moment to turn that inspiration into action and make a personal contribution.
Your support ensures that the girls in Southeast Texas have access to the nurturing and supportive environment that the Girl Scouts provide. A place where she can raise her hand, accept the challenge, and find her fearless self. As Mary said, you go, girl. Thank you again for your generous support. We'd like to invite Mary V. and Marguerite on stage to close.
So, okay. We want to make sure that that Mary and Ellen don't leave the stage.
Okay.
Don't leave.
All right.
We won't leave. Before you go, we really would like to thank you for being co-chairs of this very special year of S2S. We couldn't have done it without you. It was an amazing job. I was incredibly inspired by the whole thing. And it all comes down to our amazing co-chairs. So Ellen, Mary, thank you so much. And I think we have. Thank you. So, small token of our appreciation. So hopefully this is not like the Academy Awards where they're trying to play me off stage. Okay, good. So thank you everybody for joining us today. I want to mention one thing. I'm sure you noted the lovely centerpieces. The wooden plates were made from trees from Camp Agnes Arnold. And the flowers are available for purchase. The books you see though, they're from our museum. And they are a part of our history. And so we ask you very kindly to leave our history there so we can bring it back to the museum. But feel free to look at them. I mean, it's just, they're amazing. Some of them come from the 30s. So it's a wonderful piece of history. Thanks to the museum for letting us use them for this event. So I hope that you will leave here feeling inspired and excited about the future of our girls. And we look forward to seeing you next year. Have a great afternoon and go Astros! Go Astros! Thank you, everybody.
From Troop 15, 20, 43, we say thank you.
Thank you so much for all your hard work in these uncertain times. Hope you enjoy the cookies.
Thank you for all you do. Enjoy your cookies. Thank you for everything you do. Enjoy your cookies. Thank you for all you do. Enjoy your cookies. Thank you for all you do. Enjoy your cookies. Hello, Methodist. Our troop appreciates you and hopes you enjoy your cookies. Go Methodist and shout out to radiology.
Hi, this is Troop 28238 from Sugar Land, Texas, and we would like to thank those individuals and those companies who donated funds so that we could donate cookies to our essential workers. And we'd like to thank you, doctors. Thank you, policemen. Thank you, National Guard. Thank you, teachers. Thank you, nurses.
Thank you, grocery store employees.
Thank you, first responders.
Thank you, pharmacists.
Thank you, delivery workers.
Thank you for donating